Hi, this is Debbie Fisher. So today I wanted to show you a couple of different ways to make a cubital tunnel splint. Now, having been a hand therapist for 16 years, I have always done it with custom thermoplastic materials. But the one complaint that I consistently got was that they were either too long, too hot, or just a little cumbersome to sleep with. So having got cubital tunnel myself, I came up with several other ideas that are a little bit more comfortable, and then if you don't have access to thermoplastics, you can make something to block the elbow at night. So here is one example of using, it's called extra light. So this you will need special thermoplastic material. This was a design that Monica Perez helped me come up with, but just having some of the splinting hardware that you would use for dynamic splints and a rubber band so that it can stay nice and loose. So this I made for my left hand because, you know, obviously with cubital tunnel, you don't want to bend more than 20 to 40 degrees of flexion at night. So the nice thing about a design like this is that now they have some movement at night and it's super light and it's not hot and sweaty and you don't have to worry about straps, Velcro sticking onto anything. But if you don't have a thermoplastic material or the extra light, then here are some other simple ideas. I was on a plane and I noticed that the brochure of you know, just of any airline is this kind of trifold design. And, you know, just a real simple way of making a cubital tunnel splint is just to take your brochure or take some kind of you know, cardboard from a mailing supply company and then put some Velcro and just a little strap like that. So you could do something as simple as this, kind of folding it that way. And even just that simple modification will allow for some movement. Really, there's not a lot of cost involved at all in this. Now, having tried to wear this at night, it's not exactly the most comfortable with the cardboard here. So you could take it one step further, and you can get one of those fuzzy socks that you may have gathered during Christmas, cut off the toes, and then you basically just take your, you know, trifold, and you place it in the trifold just like this, and then you can fold it over the edges, and you can do it on both sides. And this is assuming that, you know, they don't have a large arm. So this is for more of a standard arm. You can place it here and then also fold it over on the other side. And then to keep it there, what I've done is I've put duct tape there. Now this makes it very comfortable and definitely prevents it from sweating. So here's kind of a final product of how I did that with the sock. Again, just folding the sock over and then placing duct tape around it. And then when you go to place it on there, again, you have movement and you've really spent very little money versus like the pillow elbow splint, which is a great splint for cubital tunnel, but it is around $40. If you had someone that had a larger elbow than this, then of course you could still use the trifold. You would just make it a little bit bigger. Or another option is to use these folders. So here's a folder that I found in my office, and it has the little wire tabs here on the side. All you have to really do is just place the folder, just kind of bend it into itself here, and then you would just kind of bend it to the position you wanted it, but you just need some needle nose pliers, or really a lot of these are so malleable that you can just kind of place the tab on there. And then you would do that on all the sides. Now this would make a little bit more of a, you know, it may not be as rigid as you would like for it to be. So you could do where you can position it so that you just have one folder. On this one here, I actually doubled it over so that it's double the amount of tension. So this is for a larger elbow, you can see. So in that case, if you were gonna use something like this for a larger elbow, then a sock may not be wide enough. If you were looking for length, you could always just sew two of them together and then place it in there and then fold it over too. But again, if you had a large arm, then you could do something like take a camisole, just the camisoles, you can find these at Costco for like $4, and then cut off the straps of the camisole. Or you could do this with tights and then just feed it in there and then fold it over. I wouldn't do this for a patient, but I always have a sample in the clinic so I show them, you know, a very inexpensive way of of making one. Again, if you don't have the materials yourself, or if you they just didn't want to spend the money, if you're not a DME provider and they didn't want the thermoplastic one. So you see there's extra room there, but you would just take your Gorilla Tape or duct tape, and then that leaves a nice, really soft cushion area in there. So just some, ways of doing splinting without necessarily using splinting equipment.